Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Her. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. If you want to join our free options trading group, the link is below for that as well. What we're going to do is a side-by-side comparison between Tastyworks and Robinhood, and that way you can get a good feel. We're going to just do the web version of Robinhood. I know the app is a little bit more, I mean, the only thing really different about the app is they have the candles for the charts. But you know, we're gonna be doing some orders. We'll be walking through just the overall layout, and you know, at the end of it, you decide what you want to do. You know, I'm obviously partial to Tastyworks. You know, if you want to sign up for Tastyworks, I have my referral link below. Tastyworks isn't paying me for this, but if you do benefit from this video and you want to, you know, support, hit the referral link below when you sign up for your account. So let's get into it. You know, as you can see, this is Robinhood, you know, pretty basic layout. And what Robinhood does for traders or investors, they really just wanted to, you know, Robinhood's goal when they first started was just to make it an easy platform for people to understand, for younger kids to understand, and get them starting to invest in the market. And then once they get invested in the market, you know, obviously they want them to grow up with Robinhood, and in time Robinhood gets more advanced, and you know, they've added things like now you can have options, they've added crypto, that kind of thing. You know, when they first started, it was just stocks, buying stocks. You can't short stocks, you still can't short stocks, but you can trade options, which is good because now you can trade on Robinhood options. You could trade, you know, directional, both long and short with options. So that, you know, that's a good move. But I'm just gonna kind of go through the pros and cons here, and that way you can take a look at it. You know, the Robinhood, their settings, you know, very basic layout as compared to like Tastyworks. As you can see, I have a lot of positions on here, and you know, I know that like when people come from Robinhood and go into Tastyworks, or they go into Thinkorswim or any other platform, they're very overwhelmed because there's a lot of things staring at you. When you look at Robinhood, you're just like, wow, that's, you know, pretty easy to understand. We got some stocks over here. You know, we can search for some stocks. Okay, here's my account balance. Okay, it seems pretty easy. We got some news down here. Pretty easy, but sometimes easy is not great. You know, the one thing is, you know, Robinhood doesn't charge for commissions. However, they do make up for it in other areas. You know, and we'll go through that. We'll go through that in a minute here. You know, Tastyworks, you know, your positions here, a lot more complicated. But, you know, the one thing I do like about Tastyworks is when you see your positions here, you know, you can see, are you up money? Are you down money? And then when you click on it, you can see, okay, what positions did I have on today? You know, okay, I actually took these off today. You know, we made some money in there today. It's not showing, you know, the market's closed right now. Otherwise, it would show how much to realize. And that's the thing I like. You could see. Let's say even if you're down money today overall, your P&L day, you can see kind of what profits you took in or what you actually lost in terms of realized dollars. So I like that a lot about Tastyworks. You can see how much you up for the day or down for the day, and then you can also see what you actually realized. So what did you actually sell for a profit or for a loss? And then P&L open just shows, you know, what's your overall profit and loss since you opened that position. You know, this one we're up 48, this one we're down 18 on that position. You know, if you go into, like, let's say Alibaba, you can see, okay, I have a strangle on here. So I have puts, I have calls. This is how many days. You know, very, very nice and clean. This is how many contracts. This is the expiration. This is kind of what's going on. You know, in terms of Robinhood, I don't actually have any options positions on, but let's say let's go into Apple. You know, to see that you would see kind of in the right hand column, you would see actually, I'm sorry, you would see what the pricing was for the options. But to go into it, just like stock, you actually have to go into your positions to see, you know, what your contracts are. So there's a little bit of clicking around. Unlike, you know, Tastyworks, you have everything on the home screen. You can just click around right on here, versus, you know, in here you actually have to go to the stock. You can have to go through here, and you can see, you know, what your orders are and all that. You know, in terms of history, in terms of buying options. You know, here's some contracts, here's some stock, you know, they kind of bury that information versus like for Alibaba, like I'm sorry, for Tastyworks, you know, there's a lot of ways to get information here. You know, there's this little slide out menu here. You can actually see, you know, what all your orders were on Alibaba just by itself. And in terms of, there's no way to do this on Robinhood in terms of searching for your activity. So if you go to your activity, these are all the trades that I made today, and then you can have a filter. And then let's just go back 7 days, okay? And there's going to be a lot of trades in here that I did. So it's kind of nice. You can go back. You can do a certain date range, and then say, okay, within the last 7 days, how well did I trade Alibaba? You can go in here, you know, and then you can kind of pick through your trades and see how well, or you know, that way you can learn, okay, I've been making money here, or maybe on Amazon I haven't been making money, or Microsoft I haven't been making money, you know, and kind of research your trades. I mean, this is very, very, very helpful tool when you're a beginner trader and you're trying to track down your trades. You can also export your trades, you know, through to like an Excel spreadsheet and everything like that. But that being said, you know, this tool is very helpful versus if you wanted to go to your history, you have to actually go through here, and you actually have to go to history, and then it just shows this. There's no way to search. There's no way to do anything. You know, you can just go through here, see what you did. I mean, you can see what you did for this, and you know, it's very, very, very basic, which that's what Robinhood is. I mean, they don't charge commissions, but they cut out a lot of things. So, you know, just keep that in mind, you know, when going in there. Now let's go into the trade screen. So we're actually going to compare Apple. I'm going to go to both here. We're going to go to Apple just so it makes it really nice and easy to compare. So as you can see, the options chain is very different on Robinhood as Tastyworks, in terms of Tastyworks. So, you know, I think that they stripped out a lot of things that is important. I mean, I like this type of options chain because you can easily see, okay, how many days to expiration? Okay, what can we do here? You know, these are the monthlies, and then these are the weeklies. When you go into Robinhood, you just get a bunch of dates. You don't actually know which ones are weeklies, and you don't really know which ones are monthlies. You know, and that's very important to know because everyone knows that there's more liquidity usually on the monthlies than the weeklies. You know, in terms of, especially, you know, Apple, you're not going to have this problem, but like on lower volume stocks that trade lower volume options, you're going to want to trade monthlies over weeklies, or depending on what your goals are. But you know, it's definitely good to know, are you in a weekly position, or are you in a monthly position? And in here you're going to have to, you know, not everybody knows, especially if you're a beginner, you know, options expire on the third Friday of every month for monthlies. And to figure that out, you're going to have to look at an actual calendar, and see what the third Friday is to kind of figure out what these dates are, and that way you can determine the monthlies. Otherwise, like on Tastyworks, I can just say, okay, well, these are these ones that are bolded up here. These are the monthlies, and the ones that have a W next to it and they're kind of slightly shaded back, these are the weeklies. So it makes it super, super easy for you. So we're just going to go walk through like a position here. We're going to do, we'll just do November 9th to make it easy here. So we're just going to do this week. So I think for Robinhood, like if you just want to buy a call or a put, it's pretty straightforward. Let's say, you know, you just want to buy this 212 call. You just hit this, you just hit the plus sign, you hit continue review order, you put the 1 in there, or how many of you wanted to buy, you review your order, and then you submit it. You know, for doing that kind of trade, it actually, you know, is not bad in terms of Robinhood. Very easy. You can see, okay, what can I do here? Okay, I could just buy the call, I could buy a put, click on put, not a problem. You know, it's pretty much the same in Tastyworks. You know, this is split up. Left side is calls, right side is puts. You know, pretty much, I do like that they have the bid and the ask here. And the reason for that is because, like, on stocks that, options that might not be as liquid, or if let's say something news related happened to Apple, the bid and the ask might be really wide, and you may not realize that on Robinhood when you put that in there. It's very important to know where the bid and the ask is, so that way you can meet somewhere in the middle and you actually know if you're getting a good price. Now, let's say like this 210 strike here on Apple, it's currently going for $1.47, and the ask and the bid's $1.41. But let's just say, for demonstration purposes, let's say the bid was 50 cents. And then the ask was $1.47, right? So if this was 50 cents, $1.47, I might think about the trade differently. Versus, Robinhood's just going to display a price here, and I would just click, buy, and I would just buy this 210 call, and they would give me what they, whatever they're calculating the price here for. They do show right here, just so you know, they do show. Let's make sure. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the put side. Let's go back to the calls. And I was shorting, so I want to go back to the calls here. 210. Yeah, so just so you know, we don't. Yeah, we'll just do long call. Just so you know, as you can see here, the limit price here, they do show. The low end is the bid, the high end is the ask. As you can see here, $1.41 bid, $1.47 ask. And right here, $1.41 bid, $1.47 ask. And, Robinhood, they want to make it easy for people. They want them to make it so that they don't have to think about the trade. But when you're trading options, it's not necessarily the most straightforward thing. Trading options is difficult. And sometimes information like the bid and the ask and the spread is important, and it's easy. It's a lot easier to see in this than it is on this. You have to add the call or the contract, whether it's a call or a put, and then you have to go through one screen, and then you have to go to the other one, and then you actually have to see what the limit price is. They're going to give you mid price. Yes, they're going to give you mid price, but if it's really wide, that might not be in your best interest. Like if the bid was like 50 cents and the ask was $1.47, and it would probably give you something like 90 cents, you might actually want to try 60 cents first. See if you get a fill, because when that bid and the ask is that wide, you might actually get a pretty good deal. Sometimes you don't, and that's okay. But it's always worth it to try. It's always worth it to try to get a lower price. In terms of option pricing is everything, and it's very important. What the pricing is. So that's just one scenario. That's just buying an option. Now the other one is like spreads. So for an example, I'm going to do a vertical short call spread, which means I'm going to short Apple. And what I'm going to do here, putting the trade on, and I'll do it on first on Tastyworks, then I'll do it in Robinhood, just so you can kind of see. So to do that, I'm going to short the 210 calls. So you short when you're doing a vertical call spread, you short what's what's closer to in the money, and then you buy an option that's further out away from the money. So I'll buy this 210 call, and we'll just make it simple, and I'll short this 210 call, and I'll buy this 212.50 call. And pretty easy. Max profit down here, it's going to be 87 cents, $87. Max loss, if this goes against me, I'm going to lose $163. I like that it calculates this, the probability of profit for this trade. So POP means probability of profit, means I have a 54% chance that this trade is going to go my way. And obviously, if you go further out, you make less money, but as you can see now it's 90%. But we'll come back up to here just for example purposes to keep it the same. And then P50 says, how likely am I, what's my probability of profit at 50%? How likely am I to make 50% of this $87 here? So I have a 36% chance that I would make 50% of this $87. Now Robinhood, like I just went through a lot of things there. Robinhood doesn't give you any of that information. You have to figure that out for yourself. So on Robinhood, what I'm going to do is, in this tutorial, this versus, I'm not going to go through like the Greeks and all that. I'm just doing this for, quick review on the differences. And so we'll people that are in the comments saying, hey, you didn't go over delta, you didn't go over theta, you didn't go over the IV, that's not really what this is about. This video, I just want to show quickly what the differences are. So let's do that. So I'm going to short the 210 call. So you have to make sure you click on sell. You short the 210 call. Then you got to go back to buy. I'm going to buy the 212.50. And as you can see, like this is like reversed in terms of option trades. See it, 210s on the bottom, and on here 210s on the top, and 212 is on top here, but over here 212 is on the bottom. So it gets, you know, if you're used to trading with this option chain, this gets a little tricky. You have to kind of really slow down. But as you can see here, you know, we're getting 87 credit, pretty much the same. So total credit, it did recognize it as a call credit spread. It was pretty easy to put on. The one thing that will go here is if we go to continue, you know, we have one in there. You know, right now it's saying the minimum credit for this I'm going to get is $60. And right here, if I put this trade on, their minimum credit they're going to give me is 87. So right now they're saying the bid and the ask is 81, and the mid price or 60, and the mid price they're saying the mid price is 87. So I don't know how actually this. Oh, that's because I put that in there. I don't know. That looks like a glitch because I had a totally different order in there. I didn't want that. Yeah, this is right. That's really strange. Anyways, because I put 60 cents in for that other order, that's why I was there. I don't know why it didn't like clear it after I cleared out those options. But anyways, let's go to review. And now this is very important. Okay, so 87, we're on the same page. 87 credit over here, 87-cent credit over here. Minimum credit 87 cents. What's interesting here is the buying power it's going to withhold for me. $250, right? They're going to put this trade on, Robinhood's going to hold $250 of my buying power. If you look at Tastyworks, the max loss is $163. If I hit review here, they're going to reduce my buying power by $165. Okay? So, what does that mean? Robinhood's going to take $85 more than Tastyworks in buying power. So, you know, if you did this 5 trades, 10 trades, you know, that really adds up. That adds up to $400 or $500, you know, that they're going to hold up. Robinhood's going to hold up in buying power where Tastyworks and other brokers may not. You know, I know that Tastyworks is the lower. They do hold the lowest for buying power compared to like Thinkorswim or Robinhood. So I'll give them that. Tastyworks does hold the lowest in terms of buying power to take that up, and they're going to hold on to $165 in buying power to place this trade. But just the differences, I mean, that's a lot. You know, and it's nice and clean to see here. You know, collateral. It's kind of weird. They say that they should say buying power. Or, you know, they should say, yeah, because they use buying power up here. They should say, instead of collateral, should be say, you know, buying power reduction should be 250 versus, you know, right here, estimated buying power effect is reduced by 165. So it's very clear, and a lot of new traders don't understand, you know, what that means here. You know, so it gets very confusing in terms of that. You know, I've had a lot of questions from beginner traders regarding what collateral was, what the credit was, and you know, we're kind of going through that right now. But you know, I really wanted to point out the difference here that they're gonna hold $85 more in buying power, and that means you're gonna be able to do more trades on Tastyworks than you would on Robinhood. So you can, you know, if you did this 5 times or 3 times, you'd actually be able to put on more trades or more contracts in Tastyworks than you would in Robinhood. So you would be able to, you know, your ability to make more money on Tastyworks would be greater because you'd be able to deploy that capital versus Robinhood would be tying it up in your buying power. So, you know, just to keep in mind. You know, in terms of the charts, I mean, Tastyworks charts are not that impressive compared to like Thinkorswim, but I mean they are a lot better than Tastyworks. You know, I know if you go back to Apple, you know, they don't really have anything here. I mean, here you can separate 15 minutes you know, different increments and indicators, and you know, you can do that whole thing. So that's nice. They show you the volume right here, so it's definitely better than Robinhood. And I know that the charts on mobile are better because you can use bar charts, but however, you can't use increments. You can't change, do I want to look at a 15-minute chart? Do I want to look at a 5-minute increment chart? Do I want to look at the 1 hour? You know, whatever the case is, you can't do that in Robinhood, but you can here. So, you know, I just wanted to point out some of the very basics, you know, kind of just do a quick, you know, Robinhood versus Tastyworks. Like I said, if you want to sign up for Tastyworks, hit the link below. I have a link below. If this video was of value to you, hit that like button. Definitely appreciate it. If you're first time here, if you're not yet a subscriber, hit subscribe. We definitely would love you to join the UVH family. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. I do read all the comments. I do respond to all the comments. So make the choice for yourself. You know, I just put it out there. You know, up to you. Robinhood, Tastyworks, commissions, no commissions, and oh yeah, Tastyworks commissions. It's only $1 per contract to open, but they have no closing costs. You don't pay anything to close it. So really, it's really 50 cents per contract round trip. So the Tastyworks in terms of commissions is cheaper for a paid brokerage. That is. So if you have any questions, let me know.